wanted to build on what I was saying earlier by talking about and kind of zooming in on this idea of is it even possible, or can someone disappoint you? Or should you be disappointed if someone breaks their word? Or another way of wording the question is does it even matter if people keep their word? Well, if it does not matter that people keep their word, then that means there's no consequence either which way if people break their word. Yeah, it don't matter. There's no consequence. But we know there is consequence when people break their word. So, because there's a consequence when people, an opposing thought, and what I've heard kind of shallow-minded people say to me before is, John, you need to be so disconnected from other people that it's impossible for you to get disappointed. God's going to keep letting you get disappointed over and over until you learn to be impermeable to disappointment by never attaching or expecting from anybody other than God, because God's your source. And I've heard that kind of condensed model or thought stream presented in several different ways. And my response is, is there no consequence for the breaking of one's word? If breaking your word is of no consequence, then you're absolutely right. But we all know, and it can be tested and verified in every single domain of existence, that there is consequences to keeping and breaking your word. And if you depend on somebody who's given you their word and they violate their word, it's going to bring about destructive and bad consequences. And the idea that you can some way, shape, or form make it through life on this earth without any kind of connection or interdependence doesn't mean that interdependence is unhealthy. It just means, because there's such thing as healthy dependence. We live in a very unhealthy state right now, so people just think of codependence in a negative way. But there's positive codependence. There's positive dependence. And, it's things are of consequence. So when there's no consequence, you could probably expect people to have or be puriformly detached or disassociated from outcome or the consequences of bad outcome, or the consequences of people breaking their word or violating an expectation of some sort. I hope, and I'll make another video if I need, but I hope that this video helps people to see how to test and verify these construct models of reality, of expectation, of how the world works, is there such thing as higher truth that's non-negotiable, or is it always the subjective, wishy-washy, contextualized, hey, maybe I could see it in this way. Well, equally and oppositely, it's like you could always see it different. And what I'm trying to help people see is there is a higher form of truth that eliminates that wishy-washy probability space of being able to vacillate or see things in two different subjective ways. If you allow objective truth to be your guide, objective truth is only one, and it's knowable and singular. It's not multiple or duplicitous. You'll hear it said that there's only one version of truth and there's infinity versions of lie. And that's true. Think on that. Think on that for a little while.